Hello, and welcome to my 10 subscriber special. I just want to start out by thanking everyone who's subscribed to my channel, who's watched my videos, liked them, commented, the whole bit. Thank you. Your support means a lot to me. I mostly make these videos for enjoyment and for the enjoyment of others, since I do not get monetized. Not only because I have too few subscribers, but also because of copyright issues, which is kind of par for the course for YouTube. So I just wanted to make this to thank the 10 people who've subscribed to me so far, hoping that we can get many, many more in the future. Maybe one day I will be monetized so I can get some extra income in. And also I just enjoy doing it. I don't really see this being anything in the future. I just kind of putting stuff out there, just kind of for people to enjoy. Just looking for video ideas that I haven't seen, like the 20 favorite rappers and my favorite verse from each. I had been looking for a video like that on YouTube. I hadn't found it yet. So it's kind of why I've done this, and I just want to thank you again for subscribing and keeping along with me and taking the time to see what I made. And also the second reason for this video existing is because Eminem, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the GOATs inside of the rap industry, and the GOAT Cellwise, will be releasing his Curtain Call Part 2 today at 12 a.m. in about 3.5 hours. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's pretty good. He's had albums all over the place, in terms of quality, hence this tier list. So we're gonna, put this back over there. So we're going to be seeing, the good, the bad, the ugly. I got perfect, great, respectable, mediocre, bad, and utter trash. So we're going to be seeing where these fit in and everything. You can see who I subscribe to. Go ahead and subscribe to those people, I guess. They make very good rap content. So I'm going to go ahead and start out here with Encore. I'm going to move it into the middle of the tier so I can look at them all. Or at least most of them. Encore is basically the first black spot on Eminem's career. It was, when it came out, everyone was thinking, what the heck happened? When I first listened to it, I didn't really have much of an opinion. I was listening to it while I was working, so I was just like, okay, like, it definitely left an impression just because of how weird it was. Now we know he was dealing with some stuff, and he was relapsing pretty bad and such with his addiction, which definitely explains this. He has some of his worst bars there's like a lot of repeated lines. Some things don't really rhyme right. He kind of drops some rhyme schemes just randomly without even like rhyming anything in some lines. There's some pretty good songs on here though. There's like Toy Soldiers. There's Mockingbird, one of my favorite Eminem songs. I think there's like one or two other. Yellow Brick Road is pretty decent from what I remember. And then there is like Ass Like That. And then there is my first single. Yeah, basically this has some of his worst songs ever. So I'm gonna put it in bad for now. It's not utter. I don't know. This is an Eminem tier list, so I'm not. It could be an utter trash Eminem album. Definitely one of his worst, and probably his most disappointing after what he had done previously. Moving on, we have Infinite by Eminem, 1996, I believe. Encore was 2004, I believe, as well. So Infinite, this is the second Eminem album I ever listened to, which the main thing I didn't really remember. Like, it wasn't memorable. It was good. I liked the lyricism. Some of the beats are pretty decent. I love the beat on Infinite. That's a good song. 313 is a good song. I believe every song is actually pretty solid. Like, there isn't a bad song that I can remember. The only thing with this album is just not memorable, and he hasn't really found his own style yet. He's kind of just, you can see his influences. You can see the Redman influence. You can see the Big L influence. He kind of sounds like AZ on this album. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like not really memorable. Not really any reason to note this album. I'm gonna put it in mediocre. We have Kamikaze. I might have to put Encore in utter trash because Infinite's way better than it. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'll leave it in utter trash for now. Okay, we have Kamikaze. Was kind of like the return for Eminem. He had been trashed for a while. He made, mistakes that we will come upon. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say the good things about it first. He sounds hungry on it. That's the best thing. He sounds like he's actually hungry, that he's trying his best. His bars are pretty, his flow was good on this, especially at the beginning. His flow was back in where it should be instead of the staccato one he was kind of stuck on for a while. Let's see. Most of the songs are pretty good. The hooks aren't terrible most of the time. What else is good about this? Of course, he raps his ass off. He always does that. This album, he really did that. He has some pretty good criticisms on it and such. I think it belongs in respectable. Maybe mediocre. I'm gonna leave it mediocre for now because there are kind of like random like songs that don't fit in here, like that love song he has. It's just kind of out of left field. The hooks, I don't really care for most of them. Some of them are kind of bad. He has corny bars. Some of his disses and critiques are kind of like weird, like when he says you can't say anything if you're not a rapper, which doesn't really make any sense. Like, you can't put something out there and not expect criticism. I mean, even on my 10 subscribers, I expect to get criticism. So, yeah, some of his stuff just doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna put it in mediocre. I actually enjoyed it, though. Let's see, Marshall Mathers LP. We already know where this is going. Some people say it's not his best. I used to think it wasn't his, but upon, re-listening to everything, going through his whole catalog, this is the most impactful. This is the most important for him. This was, kind of made him the mega... Well, he was already a star, but it's kind of solidified him. His career. It's perfect, basically, like banger after banger after banger. There's not really much that can be said about this. Like, each track is good. The only criticisms you might be able to have about this is that one skit, you probably know what I'm talking about. It could be a skip. I kind of like it. It's funny to me. Some features have weaker verses, but that's a given. So I'm gonna leave it there. We got Naturally, Marshall Mathers LP2 follows. This one I'm gonna put it here so I can see it better. This one was a surprise to me in a good way, because I wasn't expecting much. There had already been Rap God, which was super overplayed. I knew it was on this one, and that's about all I knew. So I was I had low expectations, and this exceeded them pretty well. I was pleasantly surprised. He was rapping pretty well on this. The production was, pretty good. It wasn't amazing, but I liked it. It's pretty coherent. I like what he does, especially Headlights. Rap God is a classic. Even if has been overplayed. This is just a very solid album. Kendrick Lamar feature, very cool. A lot happened. It's in respectable. Music to be Murdered by. It's kind of bad. It's 50-50 chance if you're gonna like the song. There's some pretty bad songs on it, the hooks are pretty bad, the bars are pretty corny. Throughout the track list, it's pretty hard to find bars that aren't a song without corny bars. The beats are decent on most of it, but he really hasn't been the same since Encore. It's been kind of on and off since then. His hook game has been down. It's It was, I mean, I enjoyed some of it. It just wasn't super memorable to me. Like, he didn't have any, like, great songs. Of course, there's the super popular Godzilla, which I, it was okay. It was mostly him rapping fast. That was the main popularity. The beat was good. I loved the feature of Juice World. That's about it. This, I have not listened to, so I'll leave it here. Alright, let's see. Next, we have Recovery. This is the one I have the hardest time remembering. It's I think it's mediocre, but lots of people love this album. It was kind of his comeback, sort of, is how he treated it in his catalog. I can't really remember most of it. Like even when I re-listen to it, it's not that memorable to me. It's very poppy, which that's not really the sound I like in rap. Like the bars are like, or the hooks are like overly sentimental. This is where that started, where it's just like super, like what's the word? Super like sappy. It's just doesn't fit that well with Eminem's kind of his what's the word? It doesn't fit with his cadence, with his persona. That's how I feel when I first listened to this. I thought it was pretty good though. I liked how he kind of regretted some of his actions. How he was kind of, it was a healing process. So I it's respectable actually. Relapse. Lots of people hate this album. Lots of people love it, and I happen to be one of the people that loves it. Um, I know it's not like the greatest album. Like he has strange bars on it, and it's pretty dark. He has accents. Yes, they can get annoying. I actually like them. I don't get annoyed by music super easily. Um, this album, it's conceptual. That's what I like about it mainly. Like it starts, it's all about his addiction. It's and to everything, I guess, to like violence, to you know, his addiction to drugs, to everything really, to um, you know, toxic relationships. Kind of explores the dark side of him. And it's kind of the best exploration we've had since Slim Shady LP. I really like it. His rhyming is amazing on this. His cadences flows like in Stayed Wide Awake, probably one of his greatest performances he ever has or ever will give, if not the best. Probably the best. Um, I love this song. He starts it off by talking about his mother, how she like kind of is the reason for all of it. Then he talks about his father. It just kind of follows along nicely. I love this album. It's one of my most replayed by him, even though even though most people kind of don't like the way it sounds. It's fun to me, which makes me sound like a psychopath, but whatever. This one, trash. I don't even have to debate that one. This one is like Encore, except it does not have Mockingbird or like Toy Soldiers, and also it's not. It's fun. It's like political. I can't tell what it's trying to be. It's trying to be like both political and then talking about his relationships. It's hard to tell what he was going for. Yeah, it's bad. The hooks are bad. The bars are. It's hard to find a single song without corny bars. It's hard to find a single song with good hooks. It's hard to find a song with good production. Yeah, even songs where he's rapping decently and where the hooks are decent, then it's ruined because of the production. Like one aspect always ruins the songs. I don't think there's a single song that is does not have something bad about it. It's kind of sad. There are I do laugh though. That's the one thing about even his bad albums. I enjoy them just because they make me laugh, and not laughing with him, mostly laughing at him. But I get some enjoyment from that. That's what I got from songs like what was that one song? Framed. I just laughed at the chorus where he's like, "I was framed." Like that was hilarious to me. Slim Shady LP. This one. This one is. I'll put it in respectable. I think it's kind of aged kind of badly. It's slightly overrated. The main people, it's a classic, no doubt, but because how how could it not be? It introduced people to this kind of. There has never been an album like this. Like the storytelling, it kind of seems like watching a TV show. You just skip from TV show to TV show because he has these different stories. It's really cool. This was the first album I listened to from him, as many have. And when My Name Is first starts, like your whole world just slips. Like you're like, wow, I've never heard, because I heard like Biggie, Tupac, all those types of people before him, Jay Z. But then when I heard this, like I have never heard anything like this, because it was pretty underground till this album came out. So I might move it up, but okay. And we have the last one. What was my favorite Eminem album for a long time? But I'm gonna put it in the great category. It definitely has its flaws. Mostly length. There are some songs that I kind of skip sometimes, but there isn't a bad song on this. Like there's some like not as good songs, but there's not a bad song in this. There's no song that I dislike. I can't think of any bad bars on this album, and I've listened to it probably the most out of any of these albums, other than maybe Marshall Mathers LP. Over the whole time I've listened to Eminem, yeah, I've probably listened to this one the most. And yeah, it's great. The production is good. I like the drums like the different drums that he specifically uses, like the ones on Sing for the Moment, that kind of vibe of drums, like on White America. So many classics on this song. Without Me, of course. Everybody and their grandma knows that song. This is a great album. It's personal. It has everything kind of within it. This was like the height of his career. This was the end of the Holy Trinity of his albums. And, if he would have died with that, he would have been top 10, top 5 even. But sadly, other things happened. He can still, have an argument for that just because of what he's done in the past, but no. I'm not gonna comment. You could argue he's top 1. Many people believe he is. So let me see what I'm gonna do with this. My favorite out of these is definitely Relapse. I actually enjoy Relapse more than Slim Shady LP, but Slim Shady LP. No, Slim Shady LP is better. I actually enjoy Slim Shady LP more as well, but even if I did enjoy Relapse more, I know Slim Shady LP is better than it. I'd say Relapse, and then Marshall Mathers LP 2, then Recovery, then Kamikaze, then Infinite, Music to Be Murdered By, Encore, and then finally Revival is definitely his worst. Because it's just, like, this Encore might have lower lows in terms of, like, rhyming, but Revival is just not as fun to listen to. It's just worse in every way. Like, the production on Encore is pretty good at sometimes, but Revival, it's all around pretty bad. I think this is pretty good, so yeah. This is my tier list. I've heard Music to Be Murdered by Side B is kind of bad, but I'm not going to comment on it. Oh, no, I can't put it back. I can't take it back. I'm just going to put it with this one. These are the same album to me. I haven't listened to Side B. I'm not sure if I really want to. Tell me in the comments if it's worth listening to. But I'm kind of proud now that I've listened to all of his discography. So here's where it all is. This is where it stands. I think this is pretty decent. Yeah. That's perfect. That's great. Respectable. Yup. I don't know if I like Recovery as much as these three though. I'm gonna put Recovery here. Right there. Before Kamikaze. I might like Kamikaze more. Like, I just remember more from Kamikaze. And yeah, Infinite is mediocre. I re-listen to Infinite sometimes. Music to Be Murdered By will probably never re-listen to. Encore I'll probably never listen to again, unless I'm just laughing at it. Revival, I do not want to listen to that again. And it's just so long. So is Encore. That's the thing. So yeah, here this is. Hopefully you don't hate me too much. Feel free to comment your rankings in the put your rankings in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Give me all your money. Give me your house. Give me your tax returns. Just give me everything because I deserve it, honestly. And I'll see you next vid.